I never imagined it would happen like this. One night. One visitor. And everything I thought about my marriage shifted. Stick around because this is the true story of an evening that began with a simple invitation and unfolded into a carefully orchestrated exploration of trust, boundaries, and shared curiosity, revealing how permission can transform temptation into something that strengthens rather than shatters a relationship. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive into the real, nuanced sides of love, desire, and the bold choices couples make to keep their connections alive. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications to join our community exploring these intimate tales. Today, I'm sharing a deeply personal experience from my marriage, the night my husband invited a confident friend over, not for small talk, but with explicit permission for me to navigate whatever attractions arose. What started as casual drinks evolved into a night of subtle power shifts, emotional safety, and mutual consent that left us both changed, in ways that deepened our bond rather than testing it. But could one evening of controlled curiosity truly enhance trust, or was it a risk too far? Keep watching as we unpack it step by step. It all began with a casual message from my husband while I was wrapping up my day at work. "Hey love, remember Mark from the conference last year? He's in town tonight. I invited him over for drinks. Thought it could be interesting." No winks. No hints. Just those words hanging in my phone screen. I paused, feeling a flutter in my chest, not fear, but a mix of nerves and anticipation. Mark was someone I'd met a couple of times, tall, around 6'2", with broad shoulders and an effortless confidence that made conversations flow naturally. He listened intently, asked thoughtful questions, and had this way of making you feel like the only person in the room. My husband knew I'd mentioned finding him attractive once, in a light-hearted chat. But this invitation felt different. It carried an undercurrent I couldn't ignore. When I got home, he was already in the kitchen, sleeves rolled up on his casual button-down shirt, stirring a cocktail with that calm smile of his. He looked up as I walked in, set the glass down, and pulled me into a quick hug. "Before anything, let's talk," he said, his voice steady and warm. We sat at the kitchen island, him in his shirt and jeans, me still in my work blouse and skirt, shoes kicked off by the door. He explained everything up front. "I want you to feel completely in control tonight. This is about exploring curiosity safely, if you want to. You set every boundary. If it feels wrong at any point, we stop immediately. No questions. And yes, I'll be there the whole time. Watching. Supporting. But only if you're fully on board." His eyes searched mine for any hesitation. I felt my heart race, not just from the idea, but from the depth of trust he was offering. He wasn't jealous. He was curious, even eager, to see me respond to someone else's attention in a space he helped create. "This isn't about me stepping back," he added. "It's about us stepping forward together. Knowing you're safe. Knowing you're still choosing me." I nodded, a slow smile spreading as the excitement built. We spent the next half hour discussing details, signals for stop, what was off limits, how he'd stay present without interfering. It felt like planning a shared adventure, not a risk. By the time the doorbell rang, the air in the house hummed with possibility. Before Mark arrived, we made sure everything was clear. My husband poured us both a glass of wine to ease the nerves, the kind we saved for special occasions, deep red with a smooth finish. We moved to the living room, dimming the lights just enough to create a cozy glow from the table lamps, the couch inviting with its plush cushions and a soft throw blanket folded on the arm. He sat beside me, his hand on my knee, and reiterated the rules one more time. "Your yes is the only yes that matters. If you say stop, everything stops. I'm here to make sure you feel protected, but also to see you shine." His words wrapped around me like a safety net, making the unknown feel thrilling instead of scary. I adjusted my dress, feeling the fabric against my skin, aware of every small sensation. When the doorbell finally chimed, my husband gave me one last look, a mix of love and anticipation, before answering it. Mark stepped inside with a bottle of wine and that signature easy smile, dressed in a fitted shirt that hugged his frame and casual pants that gave him a relaxed yet put-together vibe. He greeted my husband with a firm handshake and a pat on the back, then turned to me with a warm, "Good to see you again." His voice was deep, unhurried, carrying a warmth that filled the entryway. My husband took the bottle, thanked him, and led us to the living room. At first, it was all surface level, work updates, recent trips, light laughter over shared memories. We sat in a loose triangle, Mark on one end of the couch, me in the middle, my husband in the armchair across from us, drink in hand. The candles we'd lit earlier flickered softly, casting gentle shadows that made the space feel intimate without being intense. Mark was respectful from the start, asking about my day, listening with genuine interest as I talked about a project at work. His questions were thoughtful, drawing me out in ways that made me feel noticed, appreciated. My husband watched it all with calm attention, occasionally chiming in with a comment or refill, but mostly letting the conversation flow naturally. I could see the curiosity in his eyes, the way he leaned forward slightly when Mark's laugh made me smile a little wider. The air grew thicker as the evening progressed, not from awkwardness, but from an unspoken awareness that this wasn't just any visit. As the drinks flowed and the jazz playlist hummed low in the background, the talk turned more personal. Mark shared stories from his travels, his voice drawing me in with its steady rhythm. He asked about my passions, things beyond work, like the painting I dabbled in on weekends. His gaze was direct but kind, making me feel seen in a fresh way. I glanced at my husband, who gave a subtle nod, his posture relaxed in the armchair, legs crossed, a small smile playing on his lips. That encouragement gave me permission to lean in, literally and figuratively. I shifted closer on the couch, our knees brushing accidentally at first, then lingering. Mark didn't pull away. Instead, he met my eyes, his hand resting casually on the cushion between us. The touch was innocent, but the intent behind it sparked something, a quiet heat that built slowly. My husband observed every nuance, the way my breathing deepened, the way my fingers toyed with the hem of my dress. He didn't interrupt. He didn't need to. His presence was the anchor, reminding me I was safe to explore this edge. Mark looked between us. "This feels right?" he asked softly. My husband answered for us both. "As long as she's leading." I nodded, feeling a surge of power in that moment. Mark's hand moved to my arm, a light touch that sent a shiver through me. Not aggressive. Just present. Inviting. The room felt smaller now, the candles' flames dancing in the dim light, shadows playing across the walls. Mark's fingers traced a slow path up my arm, stopping at my shoulder, his touch firm yet restrained. I leaned into it, my body responding with a warmth that spread gradually. My husband shifted in his chair, not to stop us, but to get a better view, his eyes locked on the interplay, a mix of fascination and quiet intensity in his expression. "You're okay?" he asked me softly. I turned to him, our eyes meeting, and whispered, "More than okay." That reassurance seemed to fuel him. He nodded, his hand gripping the armrest tighter, but his face stayed composed. Mark waited for that exchange, respecting the dynamic, then pulled me closer. Our faces were inches apart. I could feel his breath, steady and warm. My heart raced, not just from the novelty, but from the layers of trust weaving through the room. My husband's presence wasn't passive, it was active permission, a tether that let me float without fear of falling. When our lips met, it was soft at first, testing, exploring. Mark's hand slid to my waist, pulling gently. I arched slightly, my dress shifting against my skin. My husband watched, his breathing audible now, joining the rhythm of the moment. No one rushed. Every touch was measured, every pause intentional. The power shifted fluidly, me choosing, Mark responding, my husband holding the space. It felt like a dance, balanced, consensual, electric. As the night deepened, the boundaries we set held firm. Mark's hands explored with care, trailing along my back, lingering at my hips, but always stopping at the edges we'd agreed on. I guided some of it, my fingers interlacing with his, pulling him closer when it felt right. My husband moved to the couch's arm beside me, his hand resting on my shoulder now, a silent reminder of his role. Not jealous. Not detached. Fully engaged. At one point, Mark paused, looked at my husband, and said, "This is your call too." My husband shook his head. "It's hers. I'm here because I trust her choices." That exchange sent a wave through me, empowerment mixed with affection. I turned to kiss my husband lightly, then back to Mark, the moment layering intimacy on intimacy. Touches stayed suggestive, a hand on my thigh, pressure building but never crossing. Whispers filled the air, compliments, check-ins, breaths sinking. The jazz swelled softly, the candles burned lower, time blurring into a haze of consent and connection. No one overstepped. Everyone honored the yes, and the unspoken no's. When the clock neared midnight, Mark pulled back first. "This has been incredible," he said, eyes flicking between us with respect. We all stood, the room still humming. Mark thanked us both, hugged me lightly, shook my husband's hand firmly, and left with a quiet goodnight. The door clicked shut. Silence wrapped around us like a blanket. My husband turned to me, pulled me into his arms, and held me without words for what felt like forever. Then he whispered, "That was beautiful. Seeing you like that, free, desired, still mine." I whispered back, "Because you made it safe." We didn't rush to analyze. Instead, we sat on the couch in the fading candlelight and talked, openly, honestly. About what felt thrilling. What felt vulnerable. What surprised us most. He admitted watching me respond to Mark's attention was arousing, not because he wanted to share me forever, but because it highlighted my vibrancy in a new light. I told him his presence was the key. The restraint he showed gave me the power to let go without worry. The night didn't create distance, it bridged something. We realized consent wasn't just a word, it was lived action. Trust wasn't assumed, it was proven in the moment. Desire, when shared with clear boundaries, didn't diminish us, it amplified our connection. We fell asleep that night tangled closer than ever, the experience lingering like a secret spark between us. In the days that followed, our intimacy deepened, conversations more raw, touches more intentional. It wasn't something we'd repeat often, but knowing we could, if we chose, added a layer of freedom to our marriage. Permission had turned temptation into trust. Sometimes exploring desire with permission doesn't break a marriage. It can illuminate trust. It can challenge comfort zones. And it can create an experience that is both thrilling and safe. If this story sparked something for you, like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more explorations of love, trust, and curiosity. Your engagement keeps these conversations going. Thanks for watching till the end.